Bienvenue, my beautiful bubbles. Welcome to Dinner, Dine, Dance. It's a party in the kitchen. Today I'm making my first loaf of bread. But I'm not just baking regular bread. We're making fully loaded garlic bread. So this is garlic baked in with minced onions and pepper, oregano, a little bit of basil, a little bit of salt, garlic and spices in it. This bread has everything for everybody. Let's get started. I've never made bread before. And I was looking at all the live recipes. They actually have a bread and roll mix from Robinhood, not sponsored, but we're just gonna follow the recipe on the bag itself. And let's see how this goes. I'm so excited. I've always wanted to try it. It doesn't seem that hard. So we're just going to jump right in here and follow the directions on the bag itself. Like, how amazing is that, right? You pour 3 1/4 cups of warm water in your large bowl, into a large bowl. So I bought a Pyrex to use today for this recipe. And I just like, when you buy a new bowl, isn't it still like so special? You're just thinking about all the recipes. Oh yeah, we're definitely making some apple pie on this channel, so stay tuned for that. A good tip is always to measure with the liquid measure. I've always used to dry measure cups for liquid, and that's certainly not the way that you want to do it. 115 degrees Fahrenheit generally for the yeast to bloom. So, it came with the packet of yeast here. These are the little microorganisms that are going to create gas. And really gives that gluten its characteristics in bread and pizza dough and biscuits. There's so many opportunities. And so we're just starting the base recipe today. We're getting there. Baking is an exact science, and I want to get into it. This is 3 1/4 exact. How good is that? I'm like so good at this. So that goes in there, and then sprinkle yeast from both enclosed packets on top. But I did bring extra because I heard with yeast, sometimes the yeast is dead and it won't bloom. So, go. It looks really, really cool. It looks like semolina. So we're gonna let this sit for 5 minutes. For you, a couple seconds or instantly. So I was reading the directions, and that was for 4 loaves of bread, which is like, we're not making that much today. So I halved the yeast recipe and whisked it up, and it's ready to go. Now I've actually preheated the oven to 170 degrees, the lowest temperature that the bread mixture onto the oven so that it can bloom. Alright, so now that we have that, we need to measure out our flour. And I've got my knife here to level it off. For 2 loaves of bread, you need 5 cups of your bread mix. So I need a cup. I grabbed the wrong one. Alright, scooping in there. 3, and I kind of use the edge of the package to kind of level it out as well. 4, 5. Make sure to clean up as you go. So now that we're about to make the mix on mixie, I'm going to add in our flavorings. I'm going to add in some chopped onion, make it really, really savory. Garlic powder, and I'm just going to eyeball it. A little bit of dehydrated, adds a lovely kind of color to it. A little bit of grassiness, but not too much flavor when it. Mustard, just a tad, adds that little nuttiness, a little bit of sourness. Ground pepper, oregano, basil leaves, why not? And of course salt, which the recipe doesn't say salt at all, which is kind of a strange recipe. So just a little bit of that. It specifically says to use a wooden stick and beat for 2 minutes. So I'm just gonna, I might have to take off my scarf for this. I'm just gonna do a full motion for now, get the side. So we're just gonna wait for this to go moist and smooth. I almost feel like I need more water with this, but moist and smooth. Isn't that your favorite word, moist? Let me know down below. So I said beat, but I don't know how you beat this. I think that's it. I think that's what we're looking for here. Is that 2 minutes? I didn't time it. Okay, that looks moisturized and smooth, I think. What do you think? Let me know. Comment down below and I can reply later. Add remaining to make a dough. I just don't know how you beat this. Like that. Add remaining to... We're making mistakes today. I think that is it. I think we're just gonna need this. So let's just get our board here. And this, we need to flour it. It's hard to judge what works because I don't know. My oven's gonna be too hot. Like, we're discovering this all together. I'm gonna flour up my hands too. Everything's floured, ready to go. So, this is the technique that I saw most people do. That, fold, like that. It is really weird at first. It's almost like something I haven't done before. I think it's gonna get that glassy sort of look once it gets all the glutens. I'm really explaining this well. So take it out of the bowl after it's mixed. Make sure it pulls away from the sides, just to reiterate. And we're gonna start kneading this for 8 minutes. So I'm probably gonna turn the camera off a little bit because I don't know, I didn't even clean out my memory on that phone yet. Okay, I will be right back. So that was a workout. So we have a beautiful dough. So for what I saw from the videos, you want to make a nice little loaf now. Go like this and bring it under, just like you're making a mozzarella. And then you want to pinch the bottom. Hey, I am so proud of myself. Pinch the bottom. This is my first bread dough. Looking good so far. There's this little home for 30 to 35 minutes. So preset my oven so it has a warm place to kind of bloom and double up in size. 30 to 40 minutes. We'll give it 40 minutes because this needs to double up. So I'm using half canola oil, half extra virgin olive oil. I'm placing it in there, and then it's set to flip it over. All the sides are nice and greased. You do want to keep this one drying out, so I'm going to cover it with a little bit of tinned oil. Like, why would I just ruin it? Next, I'm going to cover it with a damp cloth, just like this. That way it keeps everything moist for the 40 minutes. We'll see how this blooms. I let it go for a good 50 minutes, and it is pretty big. My goodness, look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's beautiful. Now we're gonna take our cutting board. Yeah, that's what it's called. And we're gonna separate it into 2 loaves. Right? Just like this. Oh, I forgot the funnest step. Now you punch it. Then all the arrows. So that's gonna go back in there. And separate it into halves is the next step. Okay, just like that. 1 loaf of bread. Okay, I'll figure it out. Okay, so let's just grease the pan. A little oil in there, about a teaspoon, and spread it around evenly in there. And set your oven to 375. We want to form this back into our loaf shape. It's like bringing it under. And by the way, we're using a 1.5 liter pan, but this just doesn't seem right. I guess I can make a dinner roll. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna combine them both all into one. We're learning as we go. I do like 2 in one pan, that wouldn't be too bad. I don't know. I don't really need it. I don't think you're supposed to. Not sure. I will just do this. That looks more like it. Or maybe it'll rise over the top and then like go everywhere. Can you imagine? I'll let this preheat and I'll be right back to put it in the oven for you guys. Put the rack on the lower end. I'm not sure if it's set all the way down at the bottom, but as my little loaf, hopefully it stretches this way. Let's just put it in there. My little bread. So now I'm gonna set the timer for 30 to 35 minutes or until done. It's been exactly 35 minutes. It's time to see how it turned out. So here it is. I don't have a wire graph to officially cool it, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Okay, so how am I gonna take it out? This side is like the pretty side, and then if you look at the other side, I don't know what happened. Does that sound right to you guys? So I'm just gonna let this cool for 10 minutes, and then we will cut this up. It's the coolest thing since sliced bread. And now it's the moment of truth. Ooh, okay. That's the butt. And officially it's cooked all the way through. I think I will have butt. And of course you need a little bit of butter. Butter makes everything better. Oh. I could definitely use a little bit more salt, a little bit more garlic, but I'd say overall it was successful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this inspired you to make your own bread at home. It is simple, it's easy, it's rewarding. Thank you so much for watching. Au revoir, my beautiful bubbles.